X-Play orientation. Or so you've decided to work for X-Play. Why, hello, Timmy. So it's your first day on the job at X-Play, is that right? Come with me, new fish. I'll show you the ropes. Meet Adam Sessler, host and X-Play's defender of the flame. Adam plays lots and lots of games. So to avoid building up calluses, you'll get the job of being Adam's hands.
Mr. Sessler, can we turn the console on now?
I hope you're not squeamish around blood, Timmy, because part of your new job is performing forbidden acts of dark magic for Morgan Webb. See, Morgan is originally from ancient Sumeria and is 3,826 years young. Your sacrificial offering of innocent blood to the god Paul keeps her looking young and beautiful. Nerf combat. It's a natural stress reliever, and you'll see plenty of it around the X-Play offices. Remember, if the enemy is too close, melee.
You got me.
Here we go.
Be sure to visit the writer's room to check out the X-Play joke wheel. Robot sex it is. Good work, wheel. Now the most secretest of X-Play trade secrets. How a game gets a score. All games are a 3. A game with a $50 bill attached gets a 4. A game with a $100 bill gets a 5. Except for games from Cody. They always get a 2. Nice work, Timmy. Now you're ready to work for X-Play with confidence.
Hey, Timmy, I need your help playing Street Fighter 4.
You better hurry, Timmy, if you know what's good for you. Until next time.
Walk slower.
X-Play orientation and a real one of 214.
I don't know what you did to that poor guy, but as he ran crying out of the building, what up? So thank you. Free clothes, brother.
Yeah,
Free clothes on X-Play.
Little harassment goes a long, long way for Blair.
Welcome to the show. It's safe to work here. I'm Blair Herter, filling in for Morgan Webb, who's out today.
And, wait, hold, what? I started playing Killzone 2 at her desk.
Out today.
Anyway, I'm Adam Sessler.
We're coming to you from the G4 studios in Los Angeles, and we have got an amazing show for you guys today. Coming up, I'm so pumped for our exclusive hands-on demo with Watchmen, The End is Nigh, the prequel to the epic comic saga.
Then, Kristen Adams has a Call of Duty World at War cheat that'll get you every last elusive death card. Basically, they're skulls.
Yep, they are. Then learn the joys of the Gauss gun and stealth armor in our look at Fallout 3's first DLC in the download. All that plus 2 brand new games were just announced. Mass Effect 2, awesome, and a big sequel from Rockstar Games. Now, we're going to have all those details coming up in the gaming update.
But first, something we never thought would happen. A Watchmen video game.
Little nervous about that, movie tie-ins, but The End is Nigh is something kind of different.
Yeah, it's a downloadable prequel to the upcoming film and really a prequel to the graphic novel as well. Yep. And it features talent from the movies and the comics as well as a canon storyline.
Which is very important.
Because Alan Moore is so agreeable.
Yeah, you're a very healthy guy up there. Yeah.
Hug on your beard.
He doesn't know what a hug is. No one's seen the game in action until now, and we have an exclusive hands-on demo.
Get ready to be taken to the heyday of herodom, a time when being a costume wasn't outlawed and the comedian was alive and well. Watchmen, The End is Nigh follows Rorschach and Night Owl through the blood-soaked streets of the 70s in an episodic prequel to one of the greatest graphic novels of all time.
Joining us today for this exclusive look at Watchmen, The End is Nigh, associate producer at Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, Jerry Pritchard. Thanks so much for dropping by.
No problem.
Bringing a game that myself and many other people out there are very excited about. But let's go through the basics. It's an episodic game, and it does not take place during the time period of the graphic novel or movie.
It's more of a step back in time.
between the characters of Rorschach and Night Owl as when they were partners, and it takes place sort of before the timeline in the graphic novel.
Now, was this when they were sort of legal costumed heroes and society hadn't turned on them?
This is prior to the Keene Act that you see in the graphic novel. This is prior to 1977, and this is prior to the goings-on of the government being involved and whatnot.
Now, obviously, you're kind of creating an extension of a storyline that's beloved and really beloved, ever since the mid-'80s. What did you do to make sure that it is consistent and stays within sort of canon within the Watchmen universe?
Well, as you know, we've had a lot of involvement from the filmmakers of the movie, and as well as the people who were involved in the original graphic novel, and we try to stay true to the storyline and to the characters and who they are. So, in essence, the game is essentially a companion piece to the film.
Now, one benefit I can see from doing it outside of the timeline of the original graphic novel is that when they're superheroes, you can get a little bit more action than what you actually find in the graphic novel, and this is an action game.
Yes, it's very much so an action game. A lot of Rorschach and Night Owl's actions in the game are very brutal. They're very creative. They're very, very fast-paced. And we wanted to kind of bring some of that action that the film is going to present into the storyline of the game and really kind of give the player, a good experience and a strong feeling that they're actually taking over as the characters.
Now, I assume we're in New York City, and Rorschach is taking out some bad people right here. But walk us through sort of the larger sense of what's happening on screen.
Well, here Rorschach is partnered with Night Owl, and they're going through the streets of New York City, and they're trying to get to a part of the city where they can actually obtain some additional information for the person they're looking for. And here we have some ruthless bikers who Rorschach's beating senselessly. And the game kind of takes place through different various areas of New York City, and we try to explore a lot of the back alleys, a lot of the seedy parts of the city to give the player a little bit more rich, in-depth feeling of the game.
Now, how is the combat working? Because obviously there's a lot of on-screen commands that are coming up.
So what you're seeing on screen here is we're seeing various combos that are coming up. The game is very tactile and has a lot of finishing moves similar to other titles that we've seen. Rorschach here can pick up weapons, use them against his foes. Each weapon has their own set of finishing moves. There's a variety of weapons, and you can pick them up, drop them at will. Weapons also break over the heads of your opponents, which is really cool.
That's good. It's got that good grit I would expect from it. Now, at the bottom of the screen, I also saw that there was a meter for rage. Obviously, how does that play into the
So
combat?
the two characters, Night Owl and Rorschach, both have various modes they can go into. For Rorschach, we have a rage mode, and basically it works as such as you're beating up your foes, the rage mode builds up over time. And once you get it to a certain level, you can trigger it and go into this homicidal rage and just destroy everybody in the area, which is really awesome. On the other hand, Night Owl, who's a little bit more calm and cool, he doesn't have a rage mode. Instead, he relies on technology and gadgetry. So his suit, over time, builds up a kinetic charge. And once that charge gets to full capacity, he can release it and electrocute people, do all kinds of cool taser-type attacks. And that's sort of how the two characters are different there.
Now, is there a way to sort of string together combos between these two very distinct skills between Night Owl and Rorschach?
Yes, the combo system is very tactile. You really have to play the game to sort of get a feel for it. Most people will button mash through a game. This game, because of the way the AI will interact with you, if you button mash, the AI will get smart to it, and they will counterattack you. They'll grab your leg, throw you on the ground. They'll do their own sort of counterattacks. They'll do their own finishing type moves. So the combat being tactile, Night Owl is more kind of a tactical type person. Uses more trained martial arts skills to his technique.
And Rorschach's just kind of a brawler right there in the alley. One more thing I do want to catch on before we finish is the game is very good looking. Outside the fact that finally I'm looking at Night Owl when he's skinny, which is really kind of a nice thing to do. I assume this is original tech, but this looks like at the level of sort of a $60 retail game.
It is. Our goal in developing this title was to make the game look and feel like a AAA next-gen title. That was our goal going into production, and the result is a very high-end looking game for a very low cost.
Jerry, thanks so much for stopping by and showing us the game, but I'm a little bit too interested, so I'm going to barricade the doors. We're going to have you back in the latter part of the show so we can talk a little bit more, especially about co-op. All right?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Cool. But now, let's send it over to Blair.
All right, I got to admit, I'm a big cynic when it comes to those tie-ins, and it looks pretty sweet. Pretty excited about it. Well, this February, G4 dedicates an entire hour to the theatrical release of Watchmen. Resident comic book expert Blair Butler, otherwise known as Lady Blair, for obvious reasons, and Allison Hayslip bring viewers behind-the-scenes coverage of making of Watchmen, an exclusive interview with director Zack Snyder, and much, much more. Do not miss Watchmen, a G4 special coming this February. But now, I think it's time for some news up in here, so let me toss to myself in the gaming update. Thanks a lot, me. Rockstar Games has just announced Red Dead Redemption, a follow-up to 2004's Red Dead Revolver. Rockstar describes the game as an open-world Western epic that will take players on an adventure across the American frontier. Red Dead Redemption is expected to be available on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 later this year. Now, Electronic Arts has dropped some major bombs during a recent investors conference call. Company CEO John Riccitiello revealed Mass Effect 2 will appear on, quote, multiple platforms early next year. Now, there's no word if a PlayStation 3 version will be released. EA has also confirmed that BioWare's Dragon Age Origins is being delayed and will be released in the fall. Additionally, Sims fans will have to wait until June to get their hands on Sims 3. On the plus side, though, Left 4 Dead sold 1.8 million copies worldwide last year, and Dead Space has so far sold over 1 million copies, and a Wii version of the game is now in the works. But despite those successes, the call also confirmed, unfortunately, that 12 of the company's facilities will be closed down, resulting in approximately 1,100 job cuts. That is a bummer. Now, for all the latest news, be sure to check out our website, g4tv.com/xplay. You can run to the computer for a minute, but don't get too caught up in the awesomeness of our site, because there's more XPlay on the way.
Coming up on XPlay, Kristen Adams has a Call of Duty World at War cheat that'll change the battlefield. She knows where the elusive death cards are located and is ready to share the intel. Plus, we head to Anchorage, Alaska for war with the Chinese army. Relive one of the Fallout universe's most famous battles in this week's installment of The Download. All that and more when XPlay returns.
Welcome back to XPlay. Now, I know what you're thinking. Blair, stop talking so we can see more Watchmen. Or maybe it's just Blair, stop talking. Either way, let's send it over to Adam.
I'm joined once again by Joey Pritchard for more of our exclusive look at Watchmen, The End is Nigh. Now, what we're seeing here is co-op, and it is same couch co-op for Watchmen. Is that correct?
That is correct. What we see here is we're having split screen, same system co-op. Two of your friends can sit down and play the game throughout, and it's a very fun experience.
Now, obviously, you do have intelligent AI when you're playing single player, but there has to be some benefits when you have someone else there that's controlling the character. How can you work together to become even more powerful?
Well, we designed the game so that in the co-op experience, there are moments where Rorschach and Night Owl assist each other. These are also split path situations where Rorschach can go one way to take out some guys, Night Owl can go the other way to take out some other guys. But also, there are some gates, some other elements where the game where you have to work together to advance.
Now, does that mean that they wouldn't be accessible in the single-player version, or that, no, you still have to work with the AI in single-player?
In the single-player version, the AI will take the place of a human component.
Okay. All right. Now, let's get an idea, as we were talking about earlier, how you can work together with the combos to just create even more damage.
So the game has progressive combo system. You can string combos into other combos, which is really, really awesome and fun. The way it works is that once you start attacking a particular enemy, you press the button. You can do a heavy attack or a light attack, it doesn't matter. And you'll see a button icon come up on the screen. And once these icons appear, you kind of have to feel your way through tapping the button in sequence. It's not just a button mashing issue, it's very tactile. So you need to sort of feel the contact of the punch with the enemy's face and then press the appropriate button to continue that combo sequence.
Another thing that a lot of people are curious about, obviously this was in conjunction with the movie. Are we going to be seeing some of the voice talent from the movie that's going to be in the video game?
There are some voice talent, but they are not announced at the moment.
I know that so well. So when is the game going to be hitting? Well, it's on PS3, it's on Xbox 360, and it's on the PC. And when does it come out?
Around the time of the theatrical release.
All right, good. It's going to be a wonderful way to extend the life of the movie because that one's only going to be, what, 2 hours? So, Jerry, thank you so much for stopping by. Really
My
can't wait to
pleasure.
play it. Right now, let's send it over to Blair.
All right, unlike other Call of Duty games, World at War allows you to play through the campaign with your friends. And if the standard World War II combat isn't doing it for you, well, you can always use death cards to shake things up. Kristen Adams is here with more.
Thanks, Blair. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. Death cards are the same thing as skulls in Halo 3. So, now that we got that out of the way, here's how you find them. There are 13 death cards in the campaign mode of Call of Duty World at War. Now, death cards might sound like a bad thing, but they actually unlock some awesome cheats. So we're going to show you where you can find some and what they can do for you. But remember, these cheats will only work in online co-op. You'll find your first death card at the beginning of the game. When you leave the hut, go inside that first little shack on your right. And there's the 8 of Hearts. This card unlocks the Thunder cheat. Use Thunder, and when you shoot someone in the head, they explode. Next, in Hard Landing, you'll see a large 2-story building. The King of Hearts will be in a room on the ground level. This card unlocks the Suicide King, which means that when you're down, you can shoot exploding bullets with your handgun. Next, in Eviction, there's a room with a big hole blown out of the floor. Jump down there and you'll find the Ace of Spades in a pile of rubble. Now you have the Undead Soldier cheat, which is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a nice extra challenge to fight against zombie soldiers. The next card is in Blowtorch and Corkscrew. After the first bunker, you'll go past some big rocks and see another destroyed bunker. That's where you'll find the 10 of Clubs. This card unlocks the Painkiller cheat, which lets you revive dead players by shooting them. And finally, in Breaking Point, you'll see a small building with 2 big windows. Kill the enemies inside and then enter. The 3 of Diamonds will be just to the left of the door. This card unlocks the Berserker. Using this cheat, if you kill 3 enemies in 5 seconds, you become invincible. Now, who knew playing with cards could be so much fun? Be sure to check g4tv.com/cheat for the latest tips and tricks. Right now, I'm going to send it back over to Adam.
All right, if you want to hear what I really think about games, or you, check out Sessler Soapbox at g4tv.com/soapbox every Wednesday. Now, this week, I'm talking about Killzone 2 and go on an epic rant about you. Stick around. We'll take you inside Fallout 3's new downloadable content right after this break. Welcome back to X-Play. Now, this first batch of DLC for Fallout 3 takes you to Anchorage, Alaska, where you can't cook meth, form an oxy ring, or shoot polar bears. You can liberate Anchorage from the Chinese army. Find out if this battle same is worth Microsoft points in this installment of the download.
It's possible to have too much of a good thing, but not when that thing is Fallout 3. That's why we're all pretty jazzed about Operation Anchorage, the first downloadable content for Fallout 3 on the Xbox 360 and PC. It's just more to love, with none of the unpleasant consequences of, say, I don't know, a never-ending plate of nachos. The story begins with some outcasts who have come upon some new military tech. Unfortunately for them, they can't get their hands on it. But, as luck would have it, you can help them out. Thanks to your Pip-Boy interface, you're the only one that can complete the battle simulation necessary to enter the room that holds the goods.
You do have that computer there on your wrist.
You'll learn some backstory here, as the simulator was designed to train soldiers in the battle to take Alaska back from the Chinese. But this isn't your everyday battle simulator. The catch is that if you die in the simulation, you'll die in real life too. So hopefully you work well under pressure. The snowy landscape of the simulation is a nice change of pace from the usual irradiated world that you're familiar with. But there are lots of Chinese soldiers to kill. Combat is key, but try not to get carried away. And while it's great to have a bit more game to the game, the real payoff is at the end. When you finally do finish your quests and reach the armory, you get access to a great bounty of new weapons. Trench knife, Gauss rifle, winterized power armor, everything is yours for the taking. It's a whole new side of Fallout 3, complete with new quests, new areas, new weapons, and new enemies. And it can be yours for only $10, so download away.
Tomorrow on X-Play, we go hands-on with the outrageous shooter Eat Lead, the return of Matt Hazard, and introduce you to your favorite old character you've probably never heard of. Then they make grinding a real grind. We count down the 5 worst RPGs of all time. Plus, have you run out of good Wii games to play? Did you know Nintendo's Little White Wonder also plays GameCube games? We'll recommend the best GameCube games that'll remind you why you have a Nintendo console in the first place. And on Friday, we demo Wanted, Weapons of Fate. See how this big screen shooter translates into a game. It all starts at 8. Don't miss it.
So you're waiting to play Operation
Oh yeah,
Anchorage.
dude. I'm not taking my murder machine to Russia's neighbor until
Exactly.
I can level up.
So it sounds like if you're still playing, and this game, given what the goodies are, get to it as soon as you can. Now, up next, another episode of X-Play.
Thanks for watching.